Tuesday night, sucker free. Mind you, okay? By all means, stay sucker free. Yeah, it's a decent night in regards to weather, seeing that we have been below freezing levels, but now they've come up a little bit and you begin to see the ice melt, you begin to see the snow melt. So people are feeling better about the weather here in Chicago. What about where are you from? What is the weather like there? Is it sunny? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is it hailing? What's going on where you reside at, city and state? Okay. And if this is your first time watching this channel, we ask that you continue to watch the channel, support the channel, subscribe, share, and like. And we ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. Yeah, it's 2026, my Chicagoans. It is 2026. And many people are sad that it's 2026, especially here in Chicago, because more people have lost their jobs. And companies plan to leave, close down, move somewhere else, lay off people. Hopefully they get those unemployment checks. Because if they don't, things are going to get real crazy out here, okay? I want to send shouts out to everybody in the chat room. But if you're working out there in the merchandise mart downtown, you know, you may be getting that bad news. You may be getting that pink slip. A lot of companies, merchandise mart, insurance companies are laying people off heavily. So if you're not prepared and you're one paycheck away from being in the street, you may want to find some alternatives now of side hustle incomes or minimalizing, your spending. You may want to cut back on some things. You may not want to spend that money on those extra clothes that you wanted or extra shoes that you wanted. You may want to spend it on some food or save the money, whereas you can relocate that'll give you lower rent or lower mortgage, because a lot of people are losing their homes. A lot of people are losing jobs. Hey, what's going on out there, Consuela? Hey, I appreciate you for being here, Consuela, because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. So we tip our hat to you and we thank you. There's a lot of news going on. But before we get to the Chicago thing, because we got a whole lot to talk about, I'm going to try to wrap it up, as fast as possible. Because I got some things to do, like more reading, more studying, working on YouTube pages, channels, that is. Hey, Elena Santana, what it is. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. Shouts out to you, Elena Santana and Consuela. Thank you all for being here. Before we get to the Chicago thing, which, I started on, we're always talking about Chicago. But for those of you who travel in the UK and here in the US, you all may want to be careful because you have a band of neo-Nazis. A band of neo-Nazis, like the Vanguard of Britannica, have been rigorously training in boot camps, training for civil war. This is according to the reports. Now, this neo-Nazi group has ties with the UK and the US. They are in partnership with these right-wing Nazi groups here, not only in London, not only in Scotland, not only in the Midlands, but here in America. Now, previously, we have seen all of these neo-Nazi groups out here that has been targeting Jew communities, Black communities, or other minority communities. Just from my standpoint, if you are a Jew if you are a black person or you are a minority in this country, whatever your ethnicity is, when you see those neo-Nazis trying to take over and vandalize your neighborhood or a certain section of a people that is not the Nazi people, you all need to band together and click, click, clack, clack. Click, click, clack, clack. That's just like the Al Qaeda people saying that all Americans should be dealt with, should be dead. And I look at Al Qaeda like I look at these neo Nazis. If they want a war, bring them war. Bring them war. Clack, 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 clack. We don't want you over here. We don't want you over here. Neo Nazis, we don't want you over here. The Jews don't want you here. The blacks don't want you here. The minor Chinese, the Puerto Ricans, and the Mexicans, they don't want you here. So stay in your own community before you get click, clack, bang, bang, get your TV cut off. That's right. We have to stand together against these unrighteous devils. Unrighteous devils is what I call them. Yeah, this is what's going on right now. So you all be aware. And if you have a lady or a daughter and you know that this is about to happen or it has transpired in your neighborhood like they did in Ohio last year, do not let your women walk the streets by themselves. You better protect them because these type of racist, neo-Nazis, cowardly people prey upon the weak. And like I said, I don't care if you're a Jew and you see a black man over there trying to get stuffed by the neo-Nazis, go help that man. Black people, if you see that Jew over there, if you see that Chinese over there, that Puerto Rican over there that's having problems with those neo-Nazis, go help them. Because they look at all of us the same. If you're not neo-Nazis, they figure you are a piece of trash. So we're going to show them what trash look like. You're not wanted here, suckers. Suckers. So y'all beware out there. We just saying. That's world news. That's world news because it happens here in the U.S. And by the way, if you, some medical information for you, eating habits, if you eat eggs every day, it'll help you have a mind that is sharper for those neo-Nazi because it gives you brain increased activity, more brain function by eating eggs every day. It gives you a better heart by eating eggs every day. It improves your eyesight for the neo-Nazis that's coming your way every day. Eat you some eggs every day if you can. Now, if you already have a problem with heart problems or something like that, they say you may want to consult with your physician before eating eggs every day. I don't see nothing wrong with eggs. In fact, eggs is one of the foods that they have not been able to contaminate yet. Y'all think about that. Eggs is a healthy way to go. Whether you crack them and put them in a glass and drink them, whether you cook them over easy, whether you scramble them, okay? Eat you some eggs today, okay? But getting back to Chicago now, because I done got off the neo-Nazis, okay? I just wanted to inform you, give you some news, give you some information on what's taking place. They are preparing for a race war. They are preparing for a race war. So you prepare too. Stop smoking all those cigarettes. Stop doing all of that drinking. Stop smoking all of that weed because these neo-Nazis is not doing that. At least most of them not. Yeah, they in boot camp right now, training vigorously to kill and murder Jews, black people, and other minority groups in the U.S. Y'all be aware of that, okay? And it seems to me that some people say that Donald Trump is a neo-Nazi. We'll get to that dude in a minute, okay? Yeah, we'll get to the U.S. president in a minute, And if he's not a Nazi, from the actions that the American people can see, you might as well say that he's a Nazi. I'm just saying, don't blame me. Blame the actions and what he's doing to the country and to a certain section of the people in the country. Something you can't believe is real. Oh, all of this is real, okay? All of this is real. Now, I understand you're not supposed to believe everything you read or everything you see, but when it's actually happening in front of you and you put the dots together, you know that it's not false. It's absolutely true. Don't be a sucker, okay? Be a free thinker. Don't think inside the box. Think outside the box, which will help your mind to grow mentally, just like eating eggs every day, okay? Y'all But here in Chicago, I think a lot of people need to start eating eggs every day too, because we got lots of violence around this place. Yeah, lots of violence around here. You know, you have this. We're going to give you the good news first, okay? We'll give you the good news first. Now, the good news that we got coming here in Chicago on the 6000th block, yeah, 6001 South Stony Island, where they have the new Barack Obama Presidential Center at. Yeah, yeah. They are looking for 150 full-time people for employment. Now, this employment, according to the reports, will be taking place in March. But the center itself, according to the reports, will not fully open until December. However, if you feel that you meet the requirements to work at the Barack Obama Presidential Center, apply. Just go online, Google it, fill out the applications. You may get called, you might not. But one thing's for sure, if you don't apply, you most definitely won't get called. And seeing that people are losing jobs like, people drink water. Yeah, people are losing jobs like people drink water. You may want to be first in line, like those people be at the New York City ball drop, when New Year's Eve is at hand. I'm just saying. So get yourself over there if you're interested in a job at the Barack Obama Presidential Center on the south side of Chicago on Stony Island. Okay? That's the good news for the city, okay? Oh, hey, Elena Santana, you from Chicago? That's what it is. Hey, City of Gangsters. Windy City in the building. Okay? But with this Barack Obama Presidential Center, the flip side to that is the bad news that we have consistently going on in the city. Now, what side of the city should we start on? Okay? I say that we start on the north side of Chicago, right? Uptown and all that good stuff. Rogers Park. Where you had this 58-year-old lady on the red line. The Howard stop, the last stop, before you go over to Evanston. On the 7600 block of Paulina, North Paulina, 58-year-old lady was found dead, unresponsive, on the train. No one has been apprehended. They don't know how she died. And they did not reveal her name, so we don't even know who she is at this present time. The only thing we know is that she's dead. 58 years old. Be careful on those trains. Be careful, period, on the north side. Especially if you're on the 4900 block of North Pulaski. Yeah, so that's right off of Foster and Pulaski. Two men got into an argument, and the 45-year-old man was stabbed in his face twice just from arguing with someone. You can't walk the streets. You don't know who you're going to approach. You don't know who's going to approach you. Now, if that 45-year-old man whose name that they did not release, If he had a weapon, maybe he could have defended himself against the assaulter who viciously stabbed him in his face twice. Now, however, police did have a suspect in custody, according to the reports. Area 5 detectives does have someone in custody. However, they did not say if he was the one responsible for the assault on the 45-year-old man. Okay. I want to thank everybody that's out there in the chat room. If this is your first time viewing this channel, we ask that you share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. But moving right along here from the north side, we're going to stop on the west side of Chicago. Yeah. Like by 15th and Holman. Yeah. 15th and Holman. Where you had 3 people that was shot. A 27-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 29-year-old. The 27-year-old was shot in the arm. It was shot in the arm. And the lady, 28 years old, was shot in the stomach. And the 29-year-old was shot in his neck and in his back. Didn't even know the people. Just walking up to people, shooting people. It's dangerous here in the city of Chicago. I remember back in the day, whether it be the north side of Chicago, west side of Chicago, east side of Chicago, south side of Chicago, you can go outside, have a great time, and not too much worry about if you're coming home or not. Now, back in the day, in the 80s, we had a lot of gang banging, and they used to get into their quarrels. But most of the time, if you was on a Humboldt Park end with those Spanish Cobras, those Latin Jivers, those Maniac Latin Disciples, those Spanish Kings down on the other end, across Damon and Division, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. If you got caught slipping, it was lights out for you. Or you're in a hospital with no teeth, probably with no eyeball, your cranium cracked, your nose broken, your legs broken. But it has evolved from that into just a total gangsterism. Everybody in the city wants to be a gangster now. Everybody think they got the top. Everybody want to be one of those real dudes. But I think it's because all of the insane asylums have been closed. And all of the crazy people have been let loose on the citizens in the city, making the city more unsafe. What do you think? Now, I know that I spoke about the violence, meaning the gun violence, being down, meaning the killings with gun violence. The shootings have went down too, but they're still occurring, and they're not going to stop. They're never going to stop. We live in the Windy City, the city of gangsters, concrete jungle. Ain't nothing fair about the city at all, okay? But if you have to go outside, make sure you go outside with somebody who is not scared to get down if it comes to that. Most of the time, try to solve the situation with reason. Try to be the bigger person in the situation, because you never know what these Chicagoans have on them. They can have brass knuckles. They can have a knife. They can have a gun. They can have a weapon that you don't have. And if you don't have any weapons and they talking crazy to you, make sure that you walk away or try to deal with it reasonably. And if it's one of those studio gangsters, one of those guys that's shaking, while they be holding the gun at you, maybe you can take the weapon from him, disarm him or her, and get away from the situation. But it's crazy out here. But like I said, these people that were shot, 3 people on the west side were shot. And by the way, can I get those likes up out there? I only got 2 likes in the building, okay? It says that I have 1 person watching and I got 2 likes. That means in a fraction, that's called a half. That means a half. A half of what? A half of 1? Come on, man. 0.05. Hey, get those likes up out there, you all. That's right. Get those likes up. Get those views up. Come on in. Chime on in. We got a lot of things to talk about. We got a lot of things to talk about. Don't know how long this live gonna go, but when the information run out, when the gas is out, when the fuel is up, we out of here. But in the meantime, I want you to digest what we are seeing here tonight for you because it could possibly save your life. And it could be someone that you know that you don't even know that it happened to them. So check in with your people. Who we got out there? Kitty Cat. What's going on, Kitty Cat? Shouts out to Kitty Cat in the building. Meow. Kitty Cat, we want to thank you for being here because you could have been doing something else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. Y'all get those likes up in the building, okay? Y'all get those likes up in the building. Now, we started on the north side of Chicago with all of the violence, and we began to move to the west side of Chicago, okay? And I just spoke about the incident that took place on 15th and Holman. And now we're going to take you here on Kedzie and Harrison. You know, down the street from 10 South Kedzie. Y'all know where that's at. You know, a couple of blocks away from Marshall High School. And Marshall High School is like on the 200 block of South Kedzie. But we're going to take you to the 500 block right by the blue line where an armed robbery took place at. 3 men on the blue line train. One brandished a gun to the victim, took all of their property, while the other 2 held open the door so that he can make a full escape, you know, from the train. And all 3 of them got away. No one has been apprehended. I keep telling you all, when you all ride these trains, be careful. Do not ride the trains by yourself if you can. You know, if you can't, you know, and you got nobody to ride with, if you go to work, you know, I feel all that. Excuse me. I feel all of that. In fact, let me get some water here, okay? And let me blow my nose, okay? Yeah. Water. Y'all get them likes up. Get them likes up. That water was good. And if you haven't been drinking some water, use some water. Do not let your body get hydrated. That can cause you high blood pressure and a whole lot of other health problems, even with your kidneys. Okay, if you weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of water. If you weigh 150 pounds, drink 75 ounces of water. Drink half ounces of the water of your weight. Okay, drink half the ounces of water of which you weigh. I'm just saying, water is very important. Water is very important. Important. It can save your life. It can help your heart rate. It can help your kidneys. It can help your skin. Ooh. And when your skin look beautiful, you feel beautiful, don't you? Yeah. We just saying, you all get those likes up. Chime on in, you all. Chime on in. On the west side, so the robbery that took place, you know, y'all be careful out there on them trains. People out here in the city are hungry. People out here in the city are starving. People out here in the city are jobless. Jobless. Now just think, if they have food banks for federal workers and they have opportunities that are just for federal workers that were laid off, you know, like job fairs and stuff, what chances do you have? What chances do you have? Now we're looking at possibly 1.2 million people that's jobless in the month of January. You know, your income taxes, you may want to save those. You may not want to go get that new car. You may not want to go purchase that new home. You may not want to take that vacation to Vegas. I'm not going to even get off to Vegas, okay? It is very expensive now in Vegas, you all. Very, very expensive. So if you haven't been in a while and you plan on going, you might want to have some deep pockets, okay? Yeah. Expect to spend $2,000 or $3,000 in a week. Easy. I'm just saying. But back to the bad news in Chicago. We left on the west side with the blue line with the robbery, right? So that's two incidents that's happened on the north side, and this is two incidents that's happened on the west side. Now we're gonna go to the south side. Mhm. The south side of Chicago, that red line train where people are constantly being robbed, constantly being stabbed, just as in the latest victims. A 37-year-old woman and a 24-year-old man was stabbed over here on the 69th Street train stop, the red line. An argument ensued. An argument ensued. And the culprit pulled out the knife on the man and the woman and stabbed them. This is why you got to have some protection while you're out there in the streets. You better know some MMA, some martial arts, some kung fu, some karate, some ninjutsu. You better know something. You better know something, especially if you have to disarm a person. It's very dangerous. Some people don't even want to go to work because they have to ride the public transportation. And upon going to work or leaving work, especially at night, there's a great chance that you may face a criminal culprit who wants to do you harm, wants to do danger to you, wants to commit a crime against you and don't even know you. Y'all be careful out there. That's right. Who we got out there? Kitty Cat? Okay. All females in the building. That's what it is. Uh-oh. We got Max Dent. What's up, Max? We got one brother in the building. Max Dent, what it is? I don't travel too much. Max Dent, I want to send a shout out to you. I want to send a shout out to Max Den Lee. Max Den Lee, shouts out to you for being here because you could have been somewhere else with someone else, but you decided to stop by to see what we had to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I left out a story here now that happened on the north side, okay? This woman goes by the name of Sandra Kolalou. Yeah, Kolalou. But however, she has remarried, and her name now is Sandra White, okay? Now, Sandra White stayed in the 5900 block of North Washtenaw, okay? Where she dismembered her landlord, Frances Walker. Frances Walker was what, 69? She was 69 years old. And Sandra Kolalou, aka Sandra White, dismembered her, cut her head off, cut her arms off, cut her legs off, and left them in a bag inside the apartment in which she was staying at. But the other parts of her body, she took them over to another location with the tow truck driver, pulled the knife on him because he wouldn't take her to another relocation. Hold on for a minute. Yeah, now why did Sandra dismember and decapitate her landlord? Because her landlord was going to evict her. Damn. All you landlords out there, let this be an example to you. Let this be an example to you. And according to the reports, the reason that Frances Walker wanted to evict Sandra Kolalou, aka Sandra White, was because she said that she had aggressive behavior. But she really didn't know that. That was according to the neighbors. And according to the courts, the attorneys for Sandra Kolalou, aka Sandra White, said that she was set up by other neighbors to remove her from her apartment or from that building in which she was staying at. That's sad, but it always happens. When you're not wanted somewhere, people make up excuses to get rid of you or make you look like a bad guy or a bad woman. And in this instance, Frances Walker thought that Sandra Kolalou was playing with her, and she wasn't. No, no. After the fact that Sandra Kolalu, aka Sandra White, had got a $3 million settlement from the CTA. Yeah, Sandra was struck in a crosswalk by a bus a couple of years ago. And do you know that the prosecuting attorneys who was looking at this case, dismembering her landlord, tried or wanted the courts to remove her lawsuit that she had from CTA. She can't do that. The judge say, we're not doing that. That case has nothing to do with this. However, they did lower the amount that she was being awarded from $3 million to $2.8 million. She'll never walk straight again, okay? She has, physical damages from getting hit by that bus. But it wasn't enough physical damage from stopping her from killing and dismembering, decapitating Francis Walker. Could you imagine walking to somebody's place and you see a decapitated head or you see decapitated arms? Get those likes up. Decapitated legs and bags in their apartment. What would you do? What would you think? Would you call the cops? Would you be a snitch? Or would you just get out of there before you be the next person that's decapitated? It's not funny, but these are the crazy people that we're dealing with. If I don't laugh, I'll cry. Can we get those likes up out there? I still got half a sandwich out here, okay? I still got a half sandwich equation on the board, okay? 1 and a 2, that's a half. At least it's not an improper fraction, but it's still a half. Smash up those likes, you all. Smash up the likes. Who else we got in here? We got Dr. Love Handles. Dr. Love Handles. You talk like George Michael a little. That's what's up. I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate the compliment. Agus W2Q and Gun 5, what it is. We appreciate everybody that's out there in the chat room. Agus and Dr. Love Handles. If this is your first time watching the channel, we ask that you smash that subscribe button. We ask that you smash the like and the share button. That is one of the best ways to support this channel. Smash the subscribe, like, and share. We highly appreciate that. And if you're feeling generous, you can leave a super chat or join a membership with this channel. We have gold memberships and we have silver memberships. But the best way that's free is press the subscribe button. Doesn't cost you 1 red penny, 1 silver nickel, 1 silver quarter, nor does it cost you 1 silver dime. Just press the subscribe button like boop, and there you have it. Okay. Yeah. But Sandra, Kolalu, aka Sandra White, we skipped that story on the north side, but we came back to it. Yeah, that's a real north side story. Now, this story took place like a year ago or something, but the updates that I'm giving you, because I didn't even know about the story last year. What about you? Did you know about this story? I didn't know about this story. There are so many stories and violence that take place in Chicago that you can't keep up with them. WGN can't keep up with them. ABC can't keep up with them. CBS can't keep up with them. NBC can't keep up with them. And they are right downtown. WGN is on the north side, okay? Over there by Addison Street, okay? If you don't know where Addison is over there by Wrigley Field, okay? Where they used to have the Bozo show come on, How many of you all watched that Bozo show back in the day? Yeah, well, Cookie and the Swami, man, Even the news can't keep up with the violence that's taking place in the city. So when I get it, I give it to you, okay? Yeah. This is crazy. Arguing with people, don't do. Don't argue with nobody in the city today. You just may lose your life. Don't do that. Is it worth it? You may not make it home to your mate. You may not make it home to your children. You may not make it back home to your mama. Yeah. Just like, that lady on that red line train, 58 years old, DEAD. And if you're on the south side, like we was talking, we're going to move over to Brighton Park, like on the 3300 block of Southwestern, where you had a 21-year-old girl and a 37-year-old man was shot in their car on the 3300 block of Western. Someone just walked up, drove up in an SUV and just started shooting in that vehicle while they were going northbound on Western from the 3300 block south. They were going north. Just opened up and sprayed. Just like that man died over there on the south side. We're still talking about the south side. Over here on Halsted and Garfield. 55th and Halsted at the light right there. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The man, 43 years old, just standing there minding his own business. And what did somebody do? They drove up, shot the man in the stomach. Didn't know the man. No one has been apprehended for nothing. For any crime, for any murder, for any robbery. The only person that has been arrested in this live is the guy that committed the crime over there on the 4900 block of North Pulaski, who stabbed that man in the face twice, viciously. Y'all be careful out there. Like when I stayed in New York, I used to see a lot of pretty women. You see their face slashed, Some chick hated on them, Or some dude hated on them, And they slashed their face. How can you be so hateful to slash someone's face? That's insane. That's jealousy. That's hatred. That's punk shit. That's punk shit. Would you, immediately stab someone in the face for nothing? Would you immediately shoot someone for nothing? Now you have to ask yourself, are these things staged? I mean, who's doing all of these murders and shootings and not being caught? Y'all got to be careful in these streets. It's going to be so bad by the time spring get here. But no, my Lord, when summer gets here, you just may want to stay in the house. Some people don't even like to come outside no more because it's too dangerous. They'd rather sit at home and watch TV and order some food and let Uber deliver it. What they call them Uber drivers, they deliver food, DoorDash, or Hub Grub. They don't even want to come outside. Too afraid. And if you do have a gun and you're a black man here in Chicago and the police stop you, they try to still take you to jail for having a lawful gun. For having a lawful gun, they still want to take you to jail. They don't want you to protect yourself, especially if you don't look like them, the police. Take that how you want to take it, okay? Take that how you want to take it. But some people not taking it, Some people are not taking it. Some people, it's showdown time. They'll close your curtains out here. Just like that. Just like that. For stepping on their shoe. For talking crazy to their lady. For attempting to talk to their lady. And they not even with them at the time. They may be on the other side of the store. And the man sees a beautiful lady. And he starts talking to her. And a man comes up. Chances are you may get your curtains closed. So women, if you're out there and you got a man, don't entrap the other poor guy that think you look good, Let him know you got a man. Don't try to play the man and don't try to play the man that you with. Because you may end up getting your life snuffed out too. These women ain't playing out here. These men ain't playing out here. These psychos not playing out here. Just like Sandra Kolalou, Kolalou. That's a different name. That's a different name. But they're out here. But the shootings have went down, I must say. And even though we got this new gun safe active storage law, yeah, it's a gun safety storage law that just went into place this year. So if you're one of those people that have a gun in your place, make sure it's stored in a box in a safe where children can't get it, or someone whom you have an argument with in your home that knows where your gun at. You know, they can't easily access it because they don't know the combination to your safe. Yeah, it goes down many ways and you never know who's going to kill you. So you all be careful out there and store them guns properly and stop using guns, man. Every day I turn on the news and I have to hear about some gun violence, man. Or I have to read the news in my feed, you know. Or I have to use it, you know, read it from one of my other sources, reliable sources. Don't we get tired of that? What kind of world do you wish that we could live in? What kind of world would you like to live in? I got to walk around for a minute. Hold on. I'm coming back in a minute. Yeah. What kind of life would you like to live? What kind of city would you like to live in? What kind of state would you like to live in? As long as it's not the country of Venezuela right now. As long as it's not Venezuela right now. But before we get on Venezuela and Trump, I want to tell you something. If you live in the state of Colorado, if you live in the state of California, if you live in the state of Illinois, Minnesota, or New York, you're in for a big surprise. Why is that, Mo? Because Donald Trump has just stopped the funds, halted the fund for low-income families that live in the 5 states that I just mentioned: Colorado, California, Illinois, Minnesota, and New York. And you must remember that these are blue states, Democratic states. He's freezing the funds for child care and any type of income assistance for low-income residents who resides in these 5 states. What are you going to do? You already make a minimum wage. You can barely pay your child care if you got a babysitter. You know, you can barely pay that, but you're really not going to be able to pay it now because the child care assistant is gone. Do you have enough money to do that? Are you with your man or your woman who helped produce that child? Do you all make enough to take care of the daycare situation? Maybe one of y'all got to quit a job or something. You know, start getting some cans together, get an online hustle, play some video games for money online, something. Hub, Grub, DoorDash. Hey, they even say that there's companies out there that give away free money. Has anybody seen that? Those type of ads? I haven't found one that responded yet. I find that they just want to collect data. So beware of people beware of companies and things that you see out here that just want to collect your data. Not a one. Not from the people that I know have applied for these companies. They say that they're all scams. So if anybody out there that's in the chat room that know any company that gives away free money, if you ask nicely, you know, put it in the chat room so everybody can see it, okay? Include me. That's right. Subscribe, like, and share. Subscribe, like, and share. Get those numbers up. Get those numbers up. And seeing that we're talking about Trump, right? Not only did he take away or put a freeze, he put a freeze. That's $10 billion. $10 billion on freeze, on froze, on ice that is not being dispensed to the American people, even though it's the American taxpayers' money. Don't that just make you mad? And you are the one who's working. You're working. And you're paying taxes so that you can receive this income so you can have a babysitter. But Donald Trump don't care about you paying taxes. He don't care how you feel. He don't care what circumstances you're going through. He don't care about how much you are on the brink of destruction. He don't care about how just about this much that you ready, to go and cut somebody's TV off. He don't care. But you know what? That's what you get. That's what you get. And y'all know who I'm talking about. That's what you get. Now, according to Donald Trump, he says that he is MAGA. And that MAGA loves everything that he does. And that he loves everything that he does. He says that he's MAGA. And pretty much, I agree with him. Seeing that he has a lot of MAGA suckers behind him. But even some of those MAGA lovers are still upset with Donald Trump right now. Let me get those likes up. Anybody else in the building? Anybody in the building? Come on now. I can't have zero watching. I just can't have zero watching. Zero watching with 2 likes. Can I get 3 likes? Can I get 3 likes in the building? Damn. Okay. Anyway, for all of those who are out there in the chat room, I want to say thank you for being here. I'm going to continue to bring you what I got to give you. Despite ain't nobody out there in the chat room and I can't get no more likes, I'm still going to present this information to you. Now, Donald Trump has invaded Venezuela. And he says that Venezuela is going to give the Americans 50 million barrels of oil. I don't know why he says Venezuela is going to give when he's already over there taking it. When he's already over there taking it. You have people like, petroleum people, like ExxonMobil, Chevron, and Conoco. They already got their hands in the pot. They already got their hands in the pot. And they would be over there doing the work in someone else's country, using the equipment that they have to refine their oil, even though a few Venezuelan oil trucks was trying to get away from the place that they invaded. Caracas? Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The city that starts with the C, where they got Maduro and his wife Celia from, Now, North Korean foreign ministers, they're not happy with the move that Donald Trump made. Even the leader of North Korea says that was unlawful. And it is against UN and international laws. Colombia has already placed more soldiers on their borders. Have y'all seen those videos? Have you read those reports? Now, what's interesting is about this is that China is going to get heavily involved in this. Now, I don't know about you all, right? I know that they say that the U.S. is the best country on earth. They ain't fought China yet. They ain't fought China yet. And China has spent billions and trillions of dollars of investments with Venezuela. Now, President Trump says that the oil or business negotiations that they had with China won't be affected by the U.S. running Venezuela. And according to President Trump, he says there would be no voting in that country. How you gonna tell somebody that they can't vote in their country? Because you're destabilizing it? China and North Korea says that it is destabilizing the regional areas of that country and it's offsetting the chain of the movements of how the machine is supposed to work. They throwing bones in it, throwing monkey wrenches in it, breaking the chain, giving the chain a halt, making it stuck. And the people that are making it stuck is the same people that's trying to do what? Change it and restore it how they want to. Just like when they invaded Africa over there. Yeah, when they invaded Africa, they said that your land is my land. And then they took their shit. And that's what they did over there to Venezuela right now. However, this far left-wing militia in Venezuela that's called colectivos. Yeah, colectivos. They're on the streets and they've taken it over. The left-wing militia, colectivos, has taken over the streets and the military for Venezuela has deserted their post. Wow. What do y'all think about that? Do you think that it's even right for Donald Trump to be over in that country? Now, I know that some people will say yeah, and some people will say no. But the answer is it unlawful? You got to ask yourself, was that an unlawful move? Was that against Congress? We didn't even hear what Congress had to say because they ain't said nothing. Because Donald Trump is Congress. Whew. Damn, did I just say that? Donald Trump is Congress. And if he ain't Congress, he sure act like he is. Some say that the U.S. is going to pay for this. What do you all think? Do you think there would be repercussions for what Donald Trump has done? Do you think China will strike back at the U.S.? Do you think North Korea, who just shot off some missiles into the sea over there, do you think that they will join China? Two communist countries, you know what I'm saying? Just might. And where would they attack? Anywhere in America? Anywhere in America for all of you MAGA lovers? Whereas you got this man, this beast in human form, who say he represents where you stay at. And if he represents where you stay at, it's a great chance that those people who he is offending might not care about that you're Democratic versus Republican. They don't care. Do you think they're going to ask you, did you vote for Donald Trump? Do you think they're going to ask you, did you agree with him taking Venezuela's shit? Do you think that they're going to ask you, are you riding with China? I don't know. And the answer, yeah, I do know. They're not going to ask you. This is going to come in and do what they need to do. Now, America has been lucky so far. She needs to count her blessings that no one has invaded her yet. But all good things come to an end. All good things come to an end. Even if you have a good marriage, your mate dies, right? I'm just saying. If you had a car that you always loved and you don't take care of it, or you don't have the money to take care of it, it's gone too. Something good, all good things come to an end, even life. And when you're not careful, when you're not careful of what you say or who you be around, there's a great chance that your life is in jeopardy, especially here in the streets of Chicago. And if you're in the White House, some of them people are worried too. They just don't talk about it. That's why some of them are moving into military barracks. That's right. You have politicians who are moving into military barracks because they're scared to death, because their president is doing some outlandish, crazy shit. And he's offending not only other leaders in other countries, he's offending the people and the citizens of this country. But he don't care. Do you think that Donald Trump cares if he offend you? Obviously not. I already know the answer to that, okay? And the answer to that is no. Not unless you're one of his billionaire friends, or if you're one of those families who control Donald Trump. Yeah, Donald Trump is controlled by a whole nother entity that we don't even see. He's just doing what he's supposed to do, but he's doing some things he's not supposed to do either. And he's not making it easier for Americans. And I don't care if you white, black, Chinese, or Puerto Rican, we all have been lied to. And it is important that you white people out there wake up. You have been lied to by this man. This devil of a man has fooled the whole world. Remember that. Satan has fooled the whole world. Y'all think about that. Now, if you have some questions about what I'm telling you, just go do a little research yourself. You don't have to agree with everything I say, but when you go research it, you're going to be like, Mo was right. Yeah, Mo is right. I'm not here to bring you fake stories. I like to bring you real stories. I don't like to bring you fake stories. We don't do that. That affects my credibility as a blogger, as a journalist, as just being the truth. So I try to bring you the truth the best as I know it without offending you, but sometimes it offends people. But if it's true, it's true. If the shoe fits, wear it. If it don't apply, let it fly. But if it hits you like a dog that's been hit by a rock, take it like a champ. Take it like a champ. Seeing that you be, delivering, punches like a champ. Take the licks back that you give people like a champ. Don't be a chump. Be a champ. And I recommend that to everybody that's out here in America. Don't be a chump. Be a champ like the true person that you are. Be the truth today, okay? That's all we're saying. And if you are into history, if you are into audio books, go over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ, where you will find audio books entitled Black Man of the Nile and His Family, Stolen Legacy, The Destruction of Black Civilization, The Message to the Black Man in America, The Fall of America, As a Man Thinketh, From Babylon to Timbuktu, The Miseducation of the Negro, The Demonology of King James, The World's 16 Crucified Saviors, and I don't know, over 800 videos we got over there, 900 on MOPOWERZ. And we have a lot of travel spots that we have hit for you, like Georgia Guidestones, the Mopop Museum, the National Civil Rights Museum, the Black Holocaust Museum. We'll take you down to Florida, to West Palm Beach Shores. We'll take you to Connecticut. We'll take you to the White House. Yeah, where I did a video right in front of it. Yeah. Washington, D.C. We'll take you to Virginia. We'll take you to West Virginia, the lover state, West Virginia. We'll take you there too. We'll take you to Philadelphia. We'll take you to where George Washington had all them slaves in the basement with chains. We'll take you to the Liberty Bell. We'll take you to the big building that says, "We the people." We'll take you there. We'll take you to Boston, Massachusetts, where they had the Boston Tea Party at. Yeah. We did that whole East Coast. We'll take you to York, Maine, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire. Yeah. North Carolina, South Carolina. Yeah, the Myrtle Beach and Hilton Head. And Hilton Head. We'll take you to California. We'll take you to Arizona. If you're into traveling, go over to that channel, MOPOWERZ. And if you are into historical audiobook series, go over to that channel, MOPOWERZ. And if you are into old school hip hop, R&B, spoken word, Chicago style, go over to THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here, on YOUTUBE, and find the likes of Twister, Shauna, Lil Jon, Crucial Conflict, Psychodrama, Triple Darkness, Mecca, Big Taz, Mano, The Nomads, High Pilot, Official Business, Affiliated Fellas, NA. We got a whole lot of people over there. Illa Flows, JR Valentino. Get yourself over there. THEMOSHOW Classics. We got Dion Cole over there. We got Diana Corder over there. Yes, you know Diane Corder, the famous HBO comedian. And we got Shari, Daryl Banks, Reggie Reg, Quintella. All of these are HBO Comic View comedians, and we all know Dion Cole, the average Joe. From Chicago. So get yourself over there. And if you're into martial arts, you know, snake style, crane style, tiger style, dragon style, mantis style, drunken style, monkey style, get yourself over there to my martial art channel, which I may have to change, but I hope I'm not. But get yourself over there. It is entitled Kung Fu Genius Space Kick Ass. Kung Fu Genius, Kick Ass on YOUTUBE. And on your way out the door here, make sure that you press the subscribe button, hit the notification bell and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. Yes, it is a magnificent way. That's right. And if you're feeling generous, send a super chat or join with the memberships on this channel, gold or silver. We highly appreciate you in either way that you support the channel. Best way, subscribe, like, and share. And we're on our way to 75 subscribers, 7,500 subscribers, not 75. We are on our way to 7,500 subscribers, and we ask that you be one of those who press the subscribe button. Yeah, we're working our way there. And we got something for the 7,500 person that subscribes to this channel. We'll be looking for you. Thanks for viewing. That's my time. Peace out. Never give up on your dreams, and have a happy, blessed, prosperous New Year. We'll see you all later. Thanks for viewing. Yeah.